Today is going to be a great day. We're going to go over specifically what not to say, text, or do to men when dating or in a marriage.
Yes, this is going to be so fun. And for those of you that are new here, what's up? I'm Natasha. This is Coach B, my amazing husband.
Hmm.
I was a former single mom with 4 kids, and now we are on a mission to help our ladies. And we are really, really good at what we do. So, welcome. This is your now new favorite channel, YouTube channel, to get all the
Yes.
inside information on feminine energetics, on dating, on relationships, and your glow up, baby.
And we're going to go over some things that are probably just normal that women say and do
Yeah.
without even knowing. But we're going to tell you why you shouldn't say it and what exactly to say, text, or do to
Yeah.
the guy that you desire, that's potentially your husband, to keep him chasing after you.
Yeah, this is like one of our favorite things to do and help our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy. But we're going to help our ladies on YouTube as well today. But a lot of times, the women that we coach, one of the biggest things that people struggle with, and this is not anyone's fault, it's just, the era that we live in now, everyone is texting,
Yes.
they're on dating apps, they're not quite sure how to communicate properly with the masculine. You think you need to talk to the masculine the same way you talk to your coworkers or your kids or your friends, your girlfriends, and that is so far from the truth. That
Yes.
is what repels men. So
Yes.
one of the big things that we do when we help our ladies when we're coaching them in the dating phase is really how to communicate with men.
Yes.
And we're talking masculine energy provider type men. One of our recent girls that just got engaged, actually, I remember specifically, she was with us for just a few months. And one of the big things that she was doing with us was just she was learning how to communicate,
Yes.
with the masculine, with
Yes.
the different guys that she was dating, and now she's engaged,
Yeah.
baby.
It's that simple and that
Mhm.
easy. Once you make these adjustments, it'll really allow you to stand out and put you in a position where the guy is really ready to move forward with you. But we're going to jump right into it. Good,
Yes.
good morning to everyone that's on. Good morning. Good morning. You want me to jump into the
Yeah,
first
baby,
one?
go.
The first one. This is texting and in person during the dating phase. And when we say dating phase, we mean that you're getting to know them. You're not engaged, none of that.
Hmm.
And the thing that you want to avoid and don't say to men doing through text or in person is good morning, handsome. Good morning, handsome. And it sounds simple. It sounds like, oh, that's so, Chat GPT told me to say it. Or it's just, I'm just complimenting him, letting him know I'm thinking about him. But what that does when you're telling him
Hmm.
good morning, handsome, is this your energy going towards him. Now he's in a position where he's waiting to hear more. He wants you to come towards him, make him feel
Hmm.
good,
Yeah.
make him feel like you really want him. And it's the difference is you want to make him feel good and make him feel like you really want him. But the difference is women do it differently. They do it with their
Hmm.
energy, where
Hmm.
men do it. We do it with our compliments. We do it with giving you more, doing more for you. So telling him good morning, handsome is putting him in his feminine. And now he needs more. But give me more, give me more. What else? What else do you see? And
Hmm.
now he's more concerned about how he looks and how he appears than you. He's not going to compliment you.
Hmm.
He's going to wait on you to compliment him in that morning. And also during this phase, he knows that he has the leverage now because your energy is coming towards him. So, ladies, please avoid texting or telling men that you're in the dating phase, getting to know good morning, handsome, or just telling them how good they look. That doesn't help or doesn't work.
Yeah, I don't think I told you, oh, hi, handsome, or you look
Not at
so
all.
handsome until we were married.
I knew you knew it.
Yeah, you knew that I was
Yes,
attracted
I
to
knew.
you,
I knew
but I
you were
wasn't
attracted.
like, "Oh, you're so
No,
handsome." Like,
no,
"Oh, no.
not at
Don't
all.
do that." Okay, and so here's the thing, ladies. We teach from the masculine and feminine
Yes,
perspective. So if you're new to this channel, that's the thing that we really specialize in is helping women really activate their feminine, magnetic, juicy energy so you attract the things that
yes,
you're wanting, especially a healthy
yes.
masculine man that's in his chasing provider mode where he just wants to put you on a pedestal and spoil the crap out of you. Okay. In
Yes.
dating and in marriage. And
Yes.
it is a game of energetics. When I say game, I'm not talking about manipulation because we're not about manipulation. We're about actually doing the things the way God's called us to do. That's it. Okay. But we get to have fun doing it.
Exactly.
But I just wanted to add to what you're saying. The reason why this is so important, ladies, that you're not coming at a guy saying, "Ooh, you're so handsome. Ooh, you're so handsome," like you've heard people say. Don't do that.
No.
Because the feminine's need is to be seen. Right? The masculine's need is to be respected and to be in that provider chaser role. Just think of a sperm, okay? They need to chase, they need to do. They're in the doing. They're in the chasing mode. As the feminine, we're in the receiving mode. We're in the be seen mode, okay? So now if you're coming at him and you're complimenting him and, texting him, "Good morning, handsome. Oh, you're so handsome." All your energy is coming towards him. You are now in your chasing energy. Now you're in your masculine energy. And he might like it, but subconsciously, that's not what he is attracted to. He, by nature, needs to be in that chasing, pursuing mode for him to stay in his masculine energy. So this is really important, ladies. Yeah.
So good. I'll give the next point. I know this
go.
is what we're telling you don't say to men.
Yeah.
And the second thing is, let me look at my point. Never say, do or text to him. This one is do. Never raise your voice at a man. And I know sometimes, depending on what background you come from, it could just be natural that's just the way you talk. You don't mean any harm. He did something legitimately that caused you to feel a certain way. But when you're raising your voice at a man, that masculine energy man, now he goes into protective mode because he's feeling threatened. And of course, healthy masculine energy men aren't going to respond, aren't going to put their hands on you. But that'll cause men to retreat in a sense. I don't want to take it there. So no matter what you're saying, it could be facts. Once you raise your voice, it's hard for most healthy masculine energy men to even hear you, to understand what you're saying, because now you're taking things to a level that, like, how did we get here? We're talking about it. I know you want to get your point across, but finding a feminine energy way to get your point across, and even stepping out if you need to. Just step away because this is too much at this moment. You'll raise your voice, and then that'll take a lot of the polarity away in some situations, because now he may be looking at you in your masculine, and men aren't attracted to anyone in their masculine in a sexual way. So you want to make sure you control yourself. Understand, even though I might have done this in the past, this isn't something that's healthy for the relationship. Not that you're scared of him or you can't stand up to him, but what's healthy, what helps our relationship move forward. And raising your voice at a man during arguments or coming at him in any threatening way will cause most healthy masculine energy men to say, you know what? Let me step away. This isn't what I signed up for. I can't be with someone who I feel like is threatening me or is coming at me in that way.
Yeah, and that also means loud text messages, ladies. Capital letters, the paragraphs, the voice notes, all that stuff. And I just want to echo what you're saying, babe. And this is coming from, my own experience where I was also raised in a household where people just yell at each other. They cuss at each other. I was super triggered. I had been through so much before he came into the picture that I really had to work on my triggers. And so for you ladies, and until you work on nervous system re-regulating, which is a big thing that we teach our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy, until you do that inner healing, okay, there we go. We're good. See, you are meant to hear. Anytime stuff like that happens, I'm like, no, you are meant to hear this. Okay, lives and relationships are being transformed right now. So lean in, ladies. What I was saying is, until you do that inner healing, you're going to get triggered, babe. And if you're used to coming at him, you're used to screaming, you're used to cussing, you're used to coming at him, you're going to do that because what's in you comes out. Okay. And this is so, so important because it could be relationship suicide. It could actually be relationship suicide if you don't get control of this, babe. And this is like before you even start dating.
That's so true. Yeah. That's so, and we haven't gone over any of these points. So as I'm saying them, she's hearing them for the first time as well. But I want to go to another point that's
Mhm.
so important because this is coming from a masculine energy male's perspective as
Mhm.
far as what I feel good about, what makes me feel good, and what doesn't make me feel good.
And also, like Coach B was a bachelor
Yes.
for 45 years,
Yes.
right? So, I mean, he was engaged before for a few years, but other than that, like he was a bachelor,
Yes.
right? And so these are the things, because I know a lot of you ladies want to attract really high quality
Yes.
provider type men that have their life together, men of God,
Yes.
things like that. They have options,
Mm.
ladies. They have options,
Yes.
right? Just like we have
Yes.
options, but they have options. So if you could be a 10 out of 10
Mhm.
beautiful woman, you could be such a nice girl, you could be kind, loving, good-hearted, successful, but if you got attitude or you don't know how to check your emotions, you don't have that emotional mastery and you get triggered easily, that is the biggest turn off for
Yeah.
masculine energy men.
Yes.
They will run and they won't even tell you
Yeah.
sometimes why. They're
Yeah.
just like, I'm just not feeling her.
And another way that women can get triggered is this next point.
Okay.
It's really making sure you're not assuming he knows what you want. A lot of times it's like, okay, you should know this. Look at me. Why didn't you do this? No, it's really men.
Yes.
Men are great communicators, but what and a lot of times that's not the narrative about men being great communicators. Men are great communicators, but it's really being specific. What we hear is what we hear. So if you say this, this is what we're doing. If you say you like this is where we're going. We're not trying to figure out, okay, maybe she meant that. Maybe she meant that. Throwing context clues is something that some men catch, some don't. But if it's something that you really need or want, please be specific with it because it might not happen. Men are thinking about 1,000 things. Men are thinking about work, about business. They're thinking about providing. They're thinking about protection. So if you're throwing clues out and he's not really tuned in that moment, he might miss it. And I'm really aware of like listening to her, like, okay, I like this, I like that. So I'll take a mental note. But sometimes we forget.
Yeah.
Sometimes we miss it. And if it's really important to you and he misses it, and you're looking at him like, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you call? Why didn't you buy this for me? You knew I was hungry. I had no idea. You said you weren't hungry 30 minutes ago. So
Until I saw what you were eating.
exactly. Exactly. Now you see my food, and now it's like, hey, why didn't you get me a meal too?
Yeah.
I didn't know. And we'll start picking up, but be sure to communicate if it's a real need that you tell him specifically what you desire, or else he just might miss it.
Oh, that is so good. This is something I've had to learn too with
Yeah.
him, right? Where it's like, why can't you read my mind? But I do really appreciate that about you, babe, is you are so observant and you do, and you were like that even in the dating phase,
Yeah.
where just like paying attention to the little things.
Yeah.
And I mean, that comes with attracting a really high quality type man. But at the end of the day, they're still men, right? They can't read your mind. So, us ladies, once again, here's the key. This is what I want you to catch. It's how you say things. It's how you ask questions. We encourage our girls, instead of getting triggered, okay, you ask follow-up questions and you do it from a soft, light, feminine energy way. You don't do it from, what did you mean by that? Why did you do that?
Right.
Why didn't you forget this? Blah, 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 blah. No, we don't come with that energy, babe, because if you're like stern and you're hard, masculine energy, because masculine energy is hard, you're going to turn him off in dating and in marriage. Even in marriage, he will start pulling away from you. So it is so important, ladies, that you learn how to embody the soft energy. And once again, until you learn how to master your emotions, emotionally regulate, nervous system re-regulate, you will by default just come at him hard. And a lot of times women just aren't aware, right? Which is why it's so important to get feedback in real time. It's like, no, don't say it like this, say it like this. And this is, once again, something that I really, really had to work on in myself. Because even for me as a married woman, and I teach this stuff, there's some times where I'm like, how come you didn't know this?
Yeah.
And I have to check myself and re-regulate. And then when I do come to him, I'm talking to him in a feminine way. I actually did a masterclass on this a couple weeks ago. It was so good. It's about a 3-hour masterclass where I go deep on boundaries and having challenging conversations with the masculine, how to communicate with the masculine in a feminine way
Mhm.
so that you get your needs met. But you're doing it in a way where you're not coming at him, you're not criticizing him, you're not picking fights with him. He's not shutting down. Because for men, and maybe you can even talk about this too, where if you come at a man at a certain way, he's just
Yes.
going to shut down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And I guess that's kind of like
That's
what you're
adding to
saying.
that point
Yeah.
earlier when you're raising your voice, when you're coming at him
Yeah.
that way, he's gonna react in a couple of ways. A healthy
Yeah.
man is gonna just remove himself from that
Yeah.
situation. He's gonna make sure that he doesn't respond emotionally outwardly. An
Yeah.
unhealthy man will do things that you can't control. And we understand men are just stronger by nature,
Yes.
is the way God
Yes.
made us. So an unhealthy man in that situation can be dangerous, and you don't want to
Yeah.
put yourself in that situation where it's like, well, I don't care, I just got to get this out. You just have to get
Hmm.
it out, and now you're depending on him to respond the correct way, which we understand we can't control anyone in that situation because you can't be controlled in that situation. So we just have to be more aware during that time.
Yes, exactly. Oh, I see Ramsha. She's like, I love the outfits. Yes. I convinced Coach B to switch it up finally. We're still traveling. We've been like doing a lot of shopping and
Yes.
stuff. And he wanted to go back to his basic shirts, which I'm totally fine with. I love his basic shirts. But he let me switch it up this time.
Yes.
So thanks for the
Yes.
feedback.
Yes. Let us know how you like
Yes.
my new outfit.
Let us know in the comments if
Yes,
you're
in the
watching the
comments.
replay,
Yes.
how you're liking Coach B's new outfits so that we can get him more. And
Yes.
then, I get to shop more too.
Exactly. Happy SWT. It's a link where you can join the Feminine Energy Academy. Adora Support just added that link. So go ahead and hit the link and you can join. It's a 7-day free trial.
Yeah.
You get access to everything in the Feminine Energy Academy. Baby, if you can just share a little
Yeah.
about what's in there so they can understand.
Yes. And then we can go to more things
Yes.
never to say to men.
Yes.
If you're really interested in what we're talking about today, I would say the first thing that you can start watching when you come into the Feminine Energy Academy today is, I would say, watch the masterclass that we did. We did it together where we go deep on how to text and communicate with the
Yes.
masculine, things to never do, things to do. I actually have a texting formula, a framework of
Yes.
every time you're texting a guy, before you text him, this is what you need to do. I also talk about nervous system re-regulating, things to never, ever, ever say to a
Yes.
man, things like that. That's in there. And then also I recommend the masterclass where what I was just talking about with understanding boundaries, how to have natural consequences with the masculine,
Yes.
and how to have uncomfortable conversations with the masculine. That masterclass was so fire as well, where we really teach you exactly what you need to do, even if you're not married yet. You want to know these things before you get into a relationship, before you get married, because once again, men are rotationally dating too.
Yes.
They got rosters too, ladies, just like you should have a rotational dating roster. And they're eliminating women based on communication and
Yeah.
your energy, right? So you want to know, this is your feminine intelligence, ladies. It's so easy to stand out because most women are walking around triggered,
Yes.
unhealed, and have no clue how to talk to the masculine. So these are skills that you want to have, ladies. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll go straight into the next point. We touched on it a little, but I want to go a little deeper
Let's go,
into it.
baby.
And that is, don't send a short story text message
Yes.
to your husband, to your fiance, to any man.
Guys you're dating.
Yeah, any guy that you're dating. Because when we see those text messages, what we do as men, we look at them, we either don't respond or we scroll down to the bottom and say, okay. So it's really a waste of time. You don't want to have really, really necessary conversations through text because we can't feel your energy. We don't know what emotion is behind it. You're leaving the other person to assume what you're thinking during that text message. So give that person a call, ask them, when are you available? I just wanted to talk about something. Now, men don't like that. We know, like, okay, here goes the talk. But you're being respectful. You're asking him when he's available instead of just sending him something. You're having a regular text conversation, and those 3 dots are going for about 5 minutes. And he's like, is she going to send it? Or what's going on? And fellas, let me know if this is something you dealt with too. It's like, okay, when is it coming? Okay, maybe she stopped.
Yeah.
Then out of nowhere, you have this dissertation that comes through in a text message,
Mhm.
and we just don't have the nervous system
Yeah,
energy
baby.
to look at that, to read it, to process it. We're going to let it sit. We're going to say okay, and we'll never know what happened. Let me give a quick testimony.
Yes, yeah, baby.
When we were dating, I believe, and she sent a message. It wasn't even a long message, but she sent either a voicemail or text message to me, letting me know, I believe, that we were gonna, like, she needed distance or something. Something happened. I forgot. Maybe you can help me.
Yeah.
I didn't even listen to it.
It
I
was a
didn't.
voice note.
It was a voice note. I didn't
Yeah.
even listen to it because I wasn't ready to hear what she was saying. It's like, I know if she sent a voice note, this is serious. So I don't want to hear this. So I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to say anything. And later on, we end up talking about it. But that's for most men,
Mhm.
our nervous systems just can't take it.
Mhm.
And stay away from it as much as possible. Try to get a phone call talking to that person. But even more important, try to do it face to face if you feel comfortable and safe around him.
Oh, that's so good. And it is a true story because that was a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
I didn't really fully understand nervous system re-regulating. I was on my inner healing journey. I was pretty good at being in my feminine energy, but there were some things that I still didn't quite understand.
Mm.
And this is exactly true. We're not making this up, guys. This is like actual neuroscience where the masculine just processes less words than women. This is why women talk more than men. Their nervous systems are harder than ours. Their nervous system cannot process as many words
Yep.
as we can process as women and be okay,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because they're just so focused, they're singular minded, and they're only focusing on, the hunting, the providing, and all that stuff.
Yep.
So when we come at them and we're like, let's talk about this, they just shut down.
Yeah.
Like they completely shut down, right? So not to say that they can't talk about things, but it's how you approach the
Mm-hmm.
situation, which is so key. And of course, we haven't had that issue since then,
Right.
because I would say a huge reason is because of me, right? Because of me, because the masculine responds to the feminine. So for me, I'm now good. And let me tell you, it took a lot of practice, a lot of inner work, a lot of nervous system re-regulating and inner healing for me to get to the point where I'm at. I'm Guyanese, okay? So anyone that's from the Caribbean understands where, you can go from 0 to level 10 crazy in like 0.2 seconds. Like that's just how we were raised, yelling, cussing, fighting, right? So that's how I was raised. And that, I had a hot temper. I had to learn how to check that. And so now I'm calm, I'm regulated, I follow my own framework, I follow my own advice, and then we can have those uncomfortable conversations and grow and get closer together.
And one of the guys was saying when he gets those text messages, he just doesn't respond.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's just even confirmation. And we have a lot more that we want to share. I want to know some of the questions, some of the things that you believe women should never say, text, or do to a guy when they're in a relationship. We want to share some of your thoughts as well, but I'll go over the next one as they're getting theirs together. The next thing, and I like to preface it because a lot of times people try to use things as motivation and okay, I'm just helping him out, but never tell a man he can't do something.
Ooh.
Never, because what
These are
that's
good, honey.
because even though in your mind it's like, okay, I'm just pushing him, I'm just gonna tell him. That's how men talk to men. Men push each other by, okay, you can't do this. And we're like, watch. But when we're home, when we're with the person that we've decided to marry, to be with, we're engaged to you, we're we're committed to you. We don't need that battle. We don't need, okay, what is she saying? She's trying to motivate me. Because again, you have to always remember the polarity. Our minds just go to, where have I heard this before? We've heard it from coaches. Unfortunately, we've heard it from other men. We've heard it from guys that we grew up with. You can't beat me in this. You can't do that. It's that competitiveness that you don't want to have in a relationship. You don't want to compete with the person that you're with. You want to encourage. You want to try to do what you can to help them move forward. But that competitive spirit, our minds don't know the difference. It's like, okay, when it's time to get competitive, we just know most of the time this is me going up against another man. So it's like you're talking to a man when you're telling him what he can't do, why he can't do it. Either you're trying to motivate him or it's just like, okay, you tried that before, it doesn't work. those type of conversations will have men just like, okay, I need to be somewhere else. I don't want to be around this
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
because they're not encouraging, they're not lifting me up. And that's what we agreed when we decided to be together. We didn't sign a contract, but we agreed to be there for each other. We agreed that we're here to whatever you need. It's like I'm you're, especially when we get married. We're one.
Hmm.
So discouraging me or telling me what I can do isn't something that's helpful in the relationship and takes away the polarity.
That's so good. And just to take that one step further, ladies, you might not be saying that to him, but you're thinking that.
Mm,
This is huge. I mean, we coach a lot of women that are married
yes,
also and are trying to reverse the dynamics in their marriage.
yes.
And that is the one of the biggest things that I talk to the women about is you have to change how you're viewing him. If you're if you're looking at him
Mm,
like he can't do this, he's
mm,
not capable of doing this, you don't have to say anything. He can feel your
yes,
energy.
yes.
And then what takes it one step further is you're saying those things and you think you're motivating him. That exactly what Coach B said. Now you have been put into the masculine category. Now he's competing with you. Now he's not going to be attracted to
Yeah,
you. And this is subconscious, right? Because heterosexual men subconsciously are repelled by masculine
yes,
energy in a sexual way,
yes.
right? So for you as a woman, yes, you can have, it's okay to have a little bit of masculine energy, build your business and, get stuff done. That's okay. But when you're with your man, texting, calling, thinking about him,
Yes.
all that stuff, you want to stay out of your masculine energy because he's going to be repelled by you.
Yes.
You do not want a man to compete with you. And you'll see a lot of women that are like, oh, I'm going to prove myself
Yeah.
to him. I'm going to compete with him. You're in bro energy. You might look good. You might be smart, successful, but if you're in bro energy with a
Yeah.
man, he's going to subconsciously be turned off of you.
That's
He's going to
so
look at you
good.
as someone to compete with, not that someone he wants to make love to and spoil the
Exactly.
crap out of and provide and protect.
That's so
Yeah.
true. And even Alexander Wright, I'm sorry, Alexander Bryant, what you said is so key as well. And a lot of times when you get into arguments or when you just start feeling a certain way, things can come out. And we want to be careful during that
Mhm.
time. I know Alexander Bryant said, saying that I don't need you to me is the worst.
Oh, that's so good.
That's thanks so much, Alexander. That's relationship suicide in a lot
Yep.
of cases. I don't need you. So in our mind, because by nature we're protectors, we're providers, we
Mhm.
have the structure, we have the discipline, and all of this is for you and the family. So when you say you don't need him, I don't care
Mhm.
if it's a moment where you're just feeling a certain way, that doesn't leave his mind.
Mhm.
Now he's like, okay, if she doesn't need me, why am I doing this
Yep.
for her?
Why am I
Now,
here?
yeah, why am I even with her? So if he's not married, he'll start going in different directions, start leaving the house, doing more. But if he is married, that's when sometimes men just step back and you're like, okay, he's not motivated. Okay, he's not doing anything for me. It's
Mm.
because you told him you don't need him. So
Mhm.
now men are so respectful, healthy
Mhm.
men are so respectful of women that when you say something, if you mean it or don't mean it, they'll believe you and they'll give you that space. You
Mhm.
don't need him? Okay. He'll step back. He'll start doing his own thing. He'll start building stuff for himself because men are going to continue to build. Men are
Mhm.
going to continue to provide,
Mhm.
but he'll just pull back from you if it's something that is not dealt with. If it's
So
something
good.
that he doesn't do some inner work and say, I have to, this is what I have to do. She didn't mean that. Most men by nature would just step back. So, Alex, that's such a good point.
Yes, exactly. Because it comes to respect too. And often you'll hear men, the number one reason why men will end up ending their life and they won't say anything, they'll just do
Mhm.
it. It's because they don't feel needed anymore. Like that
Mhm.
is such an innate need for the masculine is
Yes.
to feel needed and to feel respected.
Yes.
So ladies, you know how, I mean, so many women have been taught this where it's like, I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I can do this. I can
Mhm.
do this. Okay, great. That's great that you can do this. And we
Yes.
do advocate for women to have their own life and, take care of themselves until the man comes to the picture. But you never want to bring that energy to the masculine. You
Never.
never want to bring that energy to the masculine, like, I don't need you. Even, and the thing is, you do this in your actions. You might not be
Mm.
saying this to him, but it's in your actions, especially if you're used to being a masculine energy
Mm.
woman, you're used to taking care of business,
Yes.
you're used, what is that?
I'll look at it. Go ahead.
Okay. That's interesting. I've never seen that before. Anyway, um, you're used to, especially if you're a single mom, you're used to doing things yourself. This is huge. This is something I've even had to check myself on because I was a single mom with 4 kids before he came into the picture, right? So I was very in my masculine energy. So once he came to the picture, I had to learn how to step back. I'm like, baby, you got it. You can do this. You can take care of this. You can fix this. You can answer this.
Yeah.
You can open this jar. You can open the door for me. Actually, true story. This is how much I had to reprogram myself.
Yes.
My husband is honestly the most amazing man. Like I
Mm.
love and respect him so much. And he opens the door for me every single time. Like no matter what, no matter where we go, like he has trained me to always open that. He
Yeah.
always opens the door for me. And I love that about him in the dating phase and even while we're married. But anyway, we were he had just moved to Canada and we were dropping the kids off at something and I was walking towards the car and I went to go and I wasn't thinking, went to go open the passenger door myself and he locked it on me. So I couldn't open the door.
Yes.
And then I
Take
just
notes, fellas.
yeah.
Because, and I'm sorry to
Go
interrupt you.
ahead, baby.
Take notes because when we're dating or getting to know someone or married to
Mhm.
someone new, both of us are training each other what we need
Yes.
and what we like.
Yeah.
So it's part of us training each other. In that sense,
Mhm.
it was me training her to relax, me training her like, okay, I got this. Because by nature, she was a single mom
Yeah.
before we got together. So she's used to doing and going. She's like, okay, I don't have time to think. I'm just moving. I got to do this. I got to do that. So I'm not waiting on anybody to do anything.
Mhm.
And that was the mentality. And that's the mentality of some of you ladies on here. And it's not a fault. It's
Yeah.
just a mentality where you have to get stuff done. So waiting around doesn't work. Let me get this door. Let's get to where we're going.
Yeah.
And me helping to train her, like, relax. I got this. It's a new season.
Mhm.
I'm here because you'll continue to do things, some things in the same way, just like I would continue to go buy the same white t-shirt from Amazon. I would continue just to buy the same clothes because I'm cool. I'm good. This is what I've been doing for 40 years. So I don't need help in this area.
Mhm.
But it's training each other like this is what I need and this is what I'm here for. So that was a great point that you made.
Yeah, and it's how we do it, right? We keep it
Yes.
fun. And this is why we like coming on here and being really transparent with you guys to show you that you don't have to be perfect.
Yes.
Like I was definitely not perfect
Mm.
coming into this situation,
Yes.
not situation, but into this relationship and
Mhm.
marriage, just like he wasn't perfect,
Right.
right? And so, but I had done a ton of inner work, a lot of inner healing, super aware. And but sometimes you just kind of default to old patterns,
Yes.
and so you give each other grace in the
Yes.
process. So it's not
So
about being
good.
perfect, but for the most part, you definitely want to be aware of these things that we're teaching you
Yes.
girls.
And Dolce Sweet said, can men sense when a woman encouraging him isn't genuine?
Oh,
If so, how do men react and do they stick around or leave? You can answer the first part of the question if you want, or I can go right into it.
can men sense
Yeah,
if you're
can
not
men,
being
if a woman encouraging him isn't genuine?
isn't genuine? Yes, I think men can definitely sense. I think humans in general can sense when people aren't being genuine and
Mm,
authentic,
yeah.
right? And so, I mean, you girls and people that are watching right now, you can sense that just watching our videos
Yeah.
if we're being genuine or inauthentic, right? So, people, especially now, people's BS radars are really
Yeah.
high, right? So, people can definitely sense these things. That's why it's just so important for you to do the inner work,
Yes.
and I know that doesn't sound sexy, but it's like you can't fake this stuff.
Yeah.
You can there's a lot of people teaching tactics online, and tactics are okay. It's okay to have strategy, but if your energy doesn't match what you're saying and how you're doing it, people will sense that
Yeah.
1,000%.
And what men will do in those situations is the same thing you'll do if you sense someone not being genuine.
Mm-hmm.
You'll start pulling away from them and you won't give them your energy
Mm-hmm.
because this person is just wasting your time. You're just making stuff up. You're trying to make me feel good.
Yeah.
And most people don't want to be around people that aren't being genuine, aren't being themselves,
Mm-hmm.
that they're just faking it to make me feel a type of way. And like you said, men sense that energy and men will move on and get out of your space and allow you to just do what you're doing, but around somebody else.
Yeah, men want to be with a woman that believes in them.
Yeah.
This is so important. Men want to be with the woman that believes in them. And this is through your energy. This is how you look at him. This is your thoughts. I have an audio for the ladies that are in the Feminine Energy Academy. It's called Thought Transmission.
Mm-hmm.
And where I go into how our thoughts are energy and they transmit, and you can actually influence other people's thoughts and how they feel about you based on your thoughts. Like, this is actual science. This is not woo woo, right? And so it's so important that you regulate your thoughts around things.
Yes.
You regulate your thoughts around the masculine, around guys you're dating, around
Yes.
your husband, around, and this works in business and social media and everything, so that you can, because people are going to feel that they will feel what you feel about them.
So true.
Yeah, and
so
that's how
true.
you influence people.
And Kimberly Ann from the FEA. Hey, Coach B and
Oh,
Coach
hey, Kim.
Natasha. How are you? Let's see. We had so many questions. I'm going to go down the line.
Okay, I love it. Keep
This
your
is-
questions coming, ladies.
yes.
These are really great.
Josie said, could it be that the man is not masculine enough for the woman
Mm.
or a woman thing? What if you gave him 7 days after a breakup and he did not step up? What to do?
I love this
Yes,
question.
and this is so good. I'll let you answer.
Yeah.
These are questions that we hear so much in the Feminine Energy Academy that we're answering in the community. We answer in our inbox, but I want you to
Yeah.
kind of give your answer on this.
This is really good. Okay, so say you're dealing with a guy and then you guys break up and you have not heard from him in 7 days. What do you do? What you do is you move on with your life, babe. And you have to actually practice total detachment. Because, and this will be a win-win situation for you, because either, so first of all, men need space to process and to miss you and to decide if they want to be with you. Okay. Now, if this is somebody that is hot and cold and you guys are together, then you break up, and you're together and you break up, you need to just move on with your life. All right. Because it's just a toxic, unhealthy situation. He doesn't know what he wants.
Yes.
But assuming that this is the first time you guys have broken up, what you want to do, babe, is you want to totally detach and you want to have a glow up. You want to work on getting hotter, feeling good in your body. Like, you don't even notice. You are so busy having fun. Hopefully you're rotationally dating. If you're not, I encourage you to start rotationally dating, not sleeping with a guy. That's not what we're talking about, or being intimate with guys, but allowing other men to take you out on dates, allow other men to pursue you. You go out with your girlfriends, you're working on your body,
Yes.
you're working on your hormones, you're doing your inner healing, you're in the Feminine Energy Academy,
Yes.
you're doing other things. And what will happen is all that energy will come off of him, and then he will have space. And when I say it's win-win, it's because he's either going to miss you so much, he's going to realize what he was missing and how you are the perfect woman and he needs you, and he's going to come running back and do whatever he needs to make it work with you guys, or he's going to fall away. And he's going to clear space for your husband to find you and see you. And that's the person you were meant to be with.
And to even add to that, this will be another point as well, as she
Yeah.
brought it up. One thing you want to do as a woman is never, first off, you're rotationally dating, you're enjoying yourself, you're not thinking about him, you're not over analyzing, but never give a man an ultimatum. So when you're talking about, okay, I don't know if you said it to him or if it was just your energy, but okay, I'm giving you 7 days to change. Like, just thinking about that, when a man hears that, first, a man knows that you don't have a boundary in that area. Because if it's something that I really need to do to make you feel comfortable, and you're giving me time to do it, and you don't feel comfortable now, it's like, okay, she's saying that she doesn't want to go anywhere. Okay, I'll act like that I'm changing for her. But it's really about you saying, no, this isn't acceptable. I'm going to detach. I'm going to go silent. I'm going to rotationally date. And if he comes back, like I did, and our situation was a little different, but if he comes back, then this is what's acceptable. But giving a man an ultimatum automatically causes us to, okay, well, I'm not going to do it then. Okay. It causes us to say, something about this I don't like. So it's not going to be the response you want, even if they change or do it within that time frame, because just in our nature, it's like someone's telling us what we have to do.
Yeah.
And that doesn't work for men. That doesn't work for women. That works for no one. So giving a man an ultimatum is, and I'm not saying specifically that's what you did. It just brought up the idea of it.
Yeah.
That's not the thing that we want to do to men.
Yeah, exactly. You never ever want to do it. And then so you're like, well, how long do I wait? Well, you're not waiting. So
Mm-hmm.
you got to get out of that waiting energy.
Yeah.
It's that waiting energy is still chasing energy.
Mm-hmm.
You're still obsessively thinking about him, and that's chasing energy. He is going to subconsciously
Yep.
be repelled by you, babe.
Yes.
If you want him, you want to activate that chase mode in him, in any man. You want
Yes.
to activate a chase mode in any man, you have to detach.
Mm-hmm.
You have to detach and you have to move away.
Yes.
He has no fear of loss. If he knows that you're just hanging around waiting for him,
Yeah.
he's going to subconsciously be turned off of
Mm.
you. So it is so, so important. I actually have, I'll drop a link below where it's called Activate Chase Mode. I literally have, of course, in the Feminine Energy Academy, in the Divine Dating and Marriage section, I have a whole section. I think it's like a 3-part series
Mm.
where it talks about activating chase mode in men. And this is something I have seen and coached my women on for years. Even before I became a feminine energy and dating relationship coach, I was helping women with their hormones
Yes.
and their inner healing. And it was so crazy when we were doing some of the things that we were doing. All of a sudden, all these men were, start chasing them. The exes are start chasing them. And when I tell my ladies, and they always laugh when I tell them this, but it's true, is they always come back.
Mm.
If you do what we tell you to do, they always come back, unless he's, off married or whatever. But they always come back because they can sense your energy.
Yes.
They can sense when your energy is obsessing about them and you're chasing them energetically with your thoughts, or when you've totally detached, like what I did with my husband, totally detached, let go, moved on with my life. I was not waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything was deleted, contact, photos, everything was completely deleted. I was ready to get married and I didn't want anything to block that.
Mm-hmm.
And right before I started dating again, my now husband came into the picture because, that space, that energetic space was there for him to come and
Yes.
chase me. So for my ladies that struggle with this, like if you struggle with the obsessive thoughts, anxiety, you're so fixated on this one guy, babe, I really, really encourage you to get healing around that because God might have somebody else for you.
Yes.
Or maybe it is this guy, but he needs space because God needs to deal with him. And if you're always coming at him, he's not going to have that space that he needs to grow up as a man. Yeah.
So true. So true. And Sarah had a question, so many good questions. She
Yeah.
said, I just stopped talking to a guy because he doesn't plan dates.
Good.
Keep in mind, he's been married before and almost 40. Are my standards too high or am I not his dream girl?
Ooh, I love that question. Go
Yes.
ahead, baby. Masculine
So
perspective.
so you stop dating him because he doesn't plan dates. Now I don't know. It's always more context to it, and I always say that I don't know the whole situation. But what else is he doing? Is he providing? Is he protecting? And that's something that he's just not doing well. Like if he's checking 10 boxes and he's not planning dates, then consider, is this something that's a deal breaker? And that comes down to what you see as a deal breaker. It's not something we can tell you, but if he's not planning dates, if he's not calling you, if he's not reaching out, if he's not really chasing you in a sense of coming at you, then he might just not be ready to move forward in a relationship with you. So if he's not checking those boxes, like we just told you, first, if you're not married to him or engaged to him, continue rotationally dating because you're not thinking about, oh, he didn't plan a date, he didn't do this. If you're seriously dating, then you have to consider this person may not be ready to take things to the next level in the same way that I am. So it's up to you to make a decision and to allow him to come after you. If he's not calling you, if he's not reaching out, if he's not planning dates, you're living your life. You're not waiting around. Like one of our ladies in the Feminine Energy Academy said, she didn't even notice that the guys didn't reach back out. She didn't notice that this guy who she may have talked to is no longer in the picture because she's living her life. She's loving herself and she's not waiting around for somebody to do something, because if he's not automatically doing it, because men who know they want you, you don't have to tell them to plan a date. You don't have to tell them to call you. You don't have to tell them anything. They're going to low key stalk you in a healthy way.
way.
They're going to stalk you in a healthy way. It's going to be like, man, he's real. Man, why is he calling again? Or why is he checking in? Why does he want to see me? It's because he really likes you and wants to get to know you. And if your energy isn't coming back, if it's like you're like, okay, it's too much, he'll stop. But initially, that guy's energy is going to come towards you.
Mhm.
You're not going to have to tell him. He's not going to have you
Mhm.
waiting, or he's not going to have you confused. Men don't want you confused if they like you. They want you to
So
know.
true.
So you're not going to be confused. So consider that when you're thinking about this situation.
Oh, that's so good. So the energy, babe, that you're embodied in is you don't even notice. If he
Hmm.
doesn't want to plan dates with you, there's a lineup of other guys that want to plan dates with you.
Hmm.
And if there's not a lineup of other guys that want to plan dates with you, then you definitely want to jump at the Feminine Energy Academy because this is what our girls do.
Yes.
I was reading one of our messages from one of our girls just today. She's like, I had 4 dating calls
Yes.
yesterday on the dating app. She has 2 dates,
Mm.
2 calls today, or like, sorry, no, she has 2 dates this week,
Yes.
and then she has like 2 more next week or something like that. And this is one of our new girls.
Yes.
And because this is what helps women not get attached to a guy too soon.
Yes.
Right? Because if all your energy is focused on this one guy, he's your dream guy, then you're going to be waiting around. You're going to be resentful. But men are sperm. They need something to compete with. Okay, they don't like it, but they need something to compete with. So if he doesn't want to plan dates with you, babe, you're going on dates with other guys.
Mm.
Okay, assuming that you guys are in the dating phase. Yeah.
So good. So good. Josie, she said, if a man mentions another woman, I can stop right there. If a man mentions another woman in the beginning of a relationship from the past that he dealt with and mentions it was only sex and that it is what it for the purpose that from a man point of view, only sex and that is it. What was the purpose of that from a man's point of view?
Like, why did he bring that up?
Yeah. So, well, first,
Oh man.
there's so many things, so many directions it can go in. For one, he can just see, he can say it to see how you respond. Because for one, if he really likes you and really wants to move forward with you, he's not going to bring that up.
Mm.
Because he doesn't. We all understand that people have been in relationships,
Yeah.
that people have done things, people have had sex. All of that is understood. That's unspoken.
Yeah.
If he's bringing it up, he's probably testing out like, okay, is she open to anything? If I say this, how does she respond? And then also when I'm in a relationship with her, can I talk about what I'm doing with other people potentially? So he's just throwing it out there to see how you'll respond, not to see if you're a wife material, but to see if you're fun girl material. And that's the reality. That's the only reason a guy would bring something like that up, because you don't want to do anything as a man to have that woman thinking that you're thinking about another woman. So he brought it up so casually. He has other motives that you probably don't line up with. And that's not a relationship. That's not the way you want to start
Yeah.
a relationship. And my advice in a situation like that, if you're not married, if you're not committed to each other in that way, then rotationally date. Don't give that guy too much energy, because that's disrespectful for him to say that to you so easily. And he's just trying to get a response out of you to see if you're the party girl type, is what I believe.
That's so good. Great question. And Canada, I see you in the
Ah,
comments. Shout out to Canada. I'm wondering also, honey, if because this is why it's so important to have context.
yes.
I'm wondering if the person was brought up in conversation and he was just like, it was nothing type thing.
Yeah, I mean, if she
Like if
said,
it was like
if
nothing.
now, if you are the one that brought up, okay, her, and what did you do? Because
Yeah.
that's one thing we can add to the list of
Yeah.
never to say or do is bring up anything about an ex or
Yes.
relationship or sex as far as getting details.
Yes.
Stay away from that. So
Yes.
if the context is something you brought up, you led that conversation, then he's just responding. But if he brought that up out of nowhere, he
Yeah,
just
that's
decided
pointless.
to volunteer it, he's testing you
Yeah,
in
that's
not a
pointless.
healthy way.
Yeah, pointless. Absolutely.
Okay, this is Khadijah Mari. She said, I'm 31. I have a daughter that is autistic. Can I still get a provider man? I do look good for my age. You're young. You're 31. That's not even for your age. People always tell me I look far from my age. I also been doing the inner work as well.
So good.
So can she still get a provider energy man if she has an autistic child and she's 31 years old?
1,000% yes, babe. So here's the thing for you, ladies, okay? It doesn't matter if your child's autistic, you're a single mom, we have to change the story that we're telling ourselves. Right now, if you're embodied in this energy of this is a liability, not an asset, that's the energy you're going to be giving off. So a lot of single moms do this, period, whether they have a kid with autism or not. They'll have this energy of, well, I'm a single mom. Who's going to want to be with me? Or I'm 40 years old. Who's going to want to be with me? Or I'm 50s. Who's going to want to be with me? And like, his sister just got remarried not that long ago at 52 as a single mom with 2 kids. So that's your starting point, babe, is you have to change the story that you're embodied in, where this is, you are an asset, babe. Your is it a daughter or son? Your child is an asset. Your family is an asset. And the other thing that's just as important for you is to prepare yourself for your husband. So for me, I had 4 kids that had gone through major trauma, right? So there was behavioral stuff that were happening with my kids, understandably so, right? They lost their dad. So before he came into the picture, what I was doing, first of all, is I changed my story. And I wasn't like, oh, I'm a single mom with 4 kids. Who's going to want to be with me? No, it was like, we are a family in a package. Like, we are a buy one, get 4 free. There's a man going around and we are an answer to his prayer. Like, that was the energy I was embodied in. And then on a practical standpoint, I was starting to prepare my kids and myself for the man that would come into our life. So I was trying, I was working on things like inner healing. I was working on boundaries. I was working on not allowing my kids, to sleep in my bed anymore. And trust me, I was not perfect at this at all, because I was still a single mom with 4 kids, but I was doing the best I knew how to prepare my kids and for me to prepare us for the husband that was coming to the picture. So that's what I encourage you, babe, to do.
And even adding to that, Mark Wilson said, to the lady with the autistic child, keep strong, my girl. There are men out there who want a woman and child to take care of.
See?
And this is coming directly from a man who's listening in. So,
and for the guys that are listening in, we have a dating community. So if you want to meet some of the ladies that are in our Feminine Energy Academy and in our dating community, it's a free community right now. It's not going to be free for much longer, but I'll leave the link below, or maybe Adora Support, you can put the Dating for Marriage community in there. And that's a way for you guys to connect with some of the ladies in our community. I think we have about almost 500.
We have over 500.
Oh, we have over 500 people in that community. So you girls, and it's for girls and guys, you guys can jump in. We don't have a lot of the inner work, inner healing stuff for the women. That's on the Feminine Energy Academy, but it's just another platform for you guys to connect with each other. And it's really, the community is for people that want to date for marriage. And it's a global community. So we have people from all around the world. We have a lot of international marriages where we were international. Basically most of the women that I've coached and helped have ended up marrying men internationally. So yeah, it's a great community.
So Josie says, what if a woman believes in him, but the man gives up on himself because he takes her pushing him as criticism? And that's earlier. That's to that point earlier that we were talking about. So what if a woman believes in him, but the man gives up on himself because he takes her pushing him as criticism? Now, I don't know if those two are connected, but anytime you're being that motivator, or you're being someone who's down his neck, you're trying to make him do something, men don't respond well to that. So it's always, and I love how you give it. I'll let you give the feminine energy way of encouraging him, but it's finding ways to encourage him the feminine energy way instead of trying to push him to do something, because he's thinking in his mind, is this something that I need to do or you want me to do? And if it's not something that he automatically wants to do, he's not gonna put energy towards it. He's not gonna put resources toward it. What he's doing is he's protecting, providing, and he may not feel like he has the space to do something different. It's like, okay, let me continue this job. I'm making good money. He's just not at a place in his nervous system where he can step out. And how do you encourage men when they're in that position?
Yeah. Ladies, this is so important. You cannot criticize. You just can't do it. Okay. Don't do it in your thoughts, because he'll sense your energy, and just don't do it. This is what I teach my girls is you got to see the man. I mean, you should see all people this way, the way God sees them, right? Without that judgment. And you want to call out the best in people around you. That's what helps maturing the fruit in other people. And this is, and even scripture says that we build up and we tear down with the
Mm.
words. Women, us women, ladies, yes, we build up and we tear down with our words. So it is so important. One thing I get my girls to do in the Feminine Energy Academy is script on this. So scripting is a meditative technique where it really influences your reality, it influences your thoughts, and it influences even how people see and feel you. And it helps you to really focus on the things that you're calling in. So just as an example, like everything I scripted on, my husband, he's that to a T.
Mm.
Everything that I called in. Same with the ladies that are now engaged, getting married, they did the exact same thing. And they're just calling in the man
Yes.
that wants to step out, that is, financially literate, that's
Yeah.
growing, that's successful, that's healthy, whatever it is that's important to you, an amazing husband, amazing father. That's the type of energy you want to put out.
Mm-hmm.
And even if he's not doing, like, if you are in a relationship right now, even if he's not doing the things the way you think he should be doing it, still encourage him.
Mm.
You can ask him questions, but encourage him. It's all about your energy around it. So you're never coming at him critiquing him, because it'll be such a turnoff and he's going to resist it.
Mm. And Brianna Sedgwick, I'm not sure if you're in the Feminine Energy Academy or not. I know I've seen your face a few times on here. She says, "Okay, Queen, the demographics of our family dynamics have changed a lot.
Ooh.
I've become 100% submissive, and he calls it compliant, but my desire for him has decreased.
Mm.
Help."
Okay. Your desire for him has decreased.
Mm.
Well, it's okay. So I'm not sure if this is like, is this a brand new thing that happened, like just like a couple days ago,
Yeah.
or is this something that has happened over a time period? So here's the thing, for women, you have to know what you're attracted to, because there's two types. If you are in your wounded energy as a woman, like, say, and I'm not saying you, but just anyone listening right now, if you as a woman are used to being in your masculine doing energy, and you haven't done your inner healing, what you find attractive won't necessarily be healthy.
Mm.
This is why women are attracted to bad boys. This is why women could be attracted to men that are hot and cold. This is why women could be attracted to men that are breadcrumbing them,
Mm.
situationships. I'm not saying this is you, I'm just saying this in general. And that's because they haven't done their inner healing.
Mm.
Now, once a woman actually learns how to heal, she heals her nervous system. She knows what she wants. She wants a man that's consistent, that's in his masculine energy. You've learned how to lean into your feminine. And it sounds like that's what you're doing. You're learning to lean into your feminine. You have to give a little bit of time for that polarity to happen. Now, that polarity will happen when he is in his masculine and you are in your feminine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, at the beginning, if you just switch dynamics, he might still not be in his masculine
Right.
yet. He might still be used to his old patterns,
Yeah.
which is more in his feminine receiving energy, which is why you don't feel attracted to him. Right? So what you want to do as a woman, this is so important, is decide what it is you want. Decide what it is you're calling it. If you're already married to this person, then you do need to spend some time just scripting, praying, releasing him to God, and then you take all the energy off of him and you work on you. You work on you doing things that feel good. If you want some excitement in your life and he's not giving it to you, then babe, what are some other things that you can do in your life that feels exciting? Right? So you're not looking at the other person to make you happy or to feel excited. The other thing too, if you guys are married and there's not a lot of attraction there right now, is you might need space from each other, because we do need space to create that desire. So what that means, I'm not saying you need to leave him, but what I'm saying is that you have your own life. Like, you're doing things. You are, working on your glow up, you're working out, you're taking care of yourself. Maybe you're working on new passions. You're giving him space to figure out himself. He might need more man cave time.
Mm.
He might need to spend more time around masculine energy men. And, it's okay for you to go out and be away from him for a while so he can miss you.
Yeah.
Right? And
So
just
true.
really rediscover each other. I know. Do you want to add anything
Yeah.
to that, babe?
Also, what happens a lot of times when you're growing up, when you're learning, when you're doing a lot of self development,
Mm-hmm.
it's not happening at the same pace for him. It's not happening
Oh,
for the
so
same
good.
pace as the other person.
Yeah.
And it's really giving grace, because what we have to look at is sometimes it may have taken you years to get to that point where now you're ready to
Mm-hmm.
move forward. Now you're ready to do things differently. And the thing in those situations for women is to really pray for your man.
Yeah.
Pray that his eyes are open. Pray that he continues to become the man that he's been made to be.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of times things won't happen in the same timing.
Mm-hmm.
So understand that as long as he's not doing anything to harm you, as long as he's trying to move forward, he's trying to do better for himself.
Mhm.
Allow him that space, because the times where it's some things that he may have learned, it's some things that he may have grown from, and he's not looking at it in a sense necessarily where, okay, why hasn't she done this yet? Why hasn't she done that? And I'm talking to married couples.
Yeah.
I'm talking to couples that have made that commitment
Mhm.
where you're going to grow at different rates,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
give grace, pray for them, and hope and pray, because you have to continue to grow.
Mhm.
Don't stunt your growth
Mhm.
because he isn't where he wants to be.
Mhm.
But figure out ways, how can you encourage him? How can you be there for him to allow him to grow into who he's been called to be? So that's my response in a situation like that.
That is so good, especially if you guys are married,
Hmm.
and always going back and deciding what type of marriage do you want? What type of lifestyle do you want? And
Hmm.
then you detach. Like I actually we have a divine dating and marriage section in the Feminine Energy Academy where I take women, even married women, through the same 5-step
Hmm.
process where you are deciding exactly the type of marriage you are
Yes.
calling in. Now, that's going to require your old identity to be killed off.
Hmm.
Like, forget about him. You got to kill off
Yes.
your old identity. And even as scripture talks about in Philippians, it's whatever is true, whatever is noble,
Yes.
whatever is praiseworthy, whatever is of good report, meditate on these
Yes.
things. That is what will save your relationship.
Mm.
Because it's so easy once you've been with somebody for a while to start critiquing them,
Yeah.
like, oh, they're not doing this, oh, this is a turn off,
Yes.
that's a turn off, and you can kind of be spiraling with these thoughts of all these things that are a turn off, versus what the quickest way to shift that is actually spending time scripting and writing
Mm.
about the things that you love about the person, the little things that you love about the other person. And even if he's not quite embodied in it yet, you can still write these things
Yes.
too, right? And that, oh, I just love this about him. I love he's such an amazing father, he's such an
Mm.
amazing husband, he's such an amazing business owner, whatever, right? He's so romantic with me. His energy is always coming towards me. He's a great communicator
Yes.
with me. These are the things that you're calling in, but you're doing it from a place of gratitude. And I promise you, babe, if you practice embodying this energy, that's what's going to manifest into reality for sure.
And she did say she's married, so
Yes,
definitely
so good.
good advice on that. And Brianna, right now we have a 7-day free trial
Yes.
for the Feminine Energy Academy. I know you were talking about you wish you can join. It's free for
Yeah.
7 days. So jump in. You get all the information, you get all the audios, you get
Yeah.
everything. Nothing is held back
Yeah.
during that 7-day trial. So definitely jump in, join us, and we can go deeper with this as well.
Yeah, I mean, we believe in what we do so much, and we're so confident in results that this is why we offer a 7-day trial for you guys for free. And you can cancel anytime, where
Yes.
you can jump in, you can go binge watch the content and
Yes.
the trainings and the inner healing audios and the nervous system re-regulating as much as you want all day long. So go in and you can try it out. And the program that I'm talking about is in the Divine Dating and Marriage section in the Feminine Energy Academy if you want to try it out. Yeah.
So Paola had a question. She
Ooh.
said, "Hello, I have raised my children on my own and don't know how to let go now that they are all grown up.
Oh,
I
great.
felt lost, and my son kept telling me to start dating, but I have no idea how to date."
Oh, Paola, I love this question, babe. This is so real. This is
Mm.
so, so real. So this is really important for our ladies, that, and even if your kids aren't completely raised yet, this
Yes.
is still really important that we don't build our
Yes.
identity and our value around our kids. This is what will sabotage your love life and sabotage your life. And I understand this because, like, we as moms, we will literally do anything for our
Mm.
kids, anything. And that is good. That's how God's wired us. That's a healthy thing, right? But the thing is, and I've learned this too, where it's like you cannot build your identity around your kids, because then your happiness is going to be tied
Yes.
to your kids. Your happiness, your value, your self-worth is going to be tied to your kids. If they're doing good, they're happy, you feel good about yourself. If they don't need you, you're gonna have no identity and not feel valued. The other thing that will also happen with women that completely tie their identity around their kids is you start to neglect yourself. So you're not taking care of yourself, not taking your body, not taking care of your hormones, not taking care of how you look. You are, putting off dating and all this stuff. And then And then what's going to happen? They're going to grow up and they're going to
Mhm.
live their life. And I'm sure they're amazing kids because it
Yes.
sounds like you're an amazing mom, Paola. But now it's your time to rediscover yourself.
Yes.
So, what you can do, I love that you asked this question, babe. The best thing for you to do right now is look at this like you are in your 2.0 identity. You're in your 2.0 reality now, babe, where you get to reinvent yourself. You get to discover what you love. You get to start taking care of yourself. You get to start working on your glow up so you can be a hot tamale. That is your starting point. There's no point in dating if you don't feel good about yourself. Ladies, let me say this again. There's no point in you dating if you don't feel good about yourself. Okay, because you're not going to attract good quality men. You need to get yourself to a point where you feel so good about yourself. You like how you look, you like how you feel, you know you're a catch. Even if you're 65 years old, that doesn't matter. Okay, then you can start dating and have some strategy, have some boundaries so that you can save yourself heartache and save yourself from wasting time. This is why in the Feminine Energy Academy, again, I have 4 weight loss programs in there. Okay, I'm a hormone coach, so I really specialize in this area where I help women with the inner healing, re-regulating your hormones, help with the stubborn belly fat. That is your starting point so you can glow up. We have in there how to, up level your looks so you can look and feel good based on the male gaze, not based on what your girlfriends are telling you, but based on what the masculine is attracted to, even if you're 65 years old, right? This stuff is timeless for men. So that is your starting point. Then have some dating strategy and have fun with it. Most importantly, have fun with it, babe. Yeah.
Yeah. So definitely so many good questions. And ladies are opening up because these are some questions
Yes.
that are not, it's not different. It's not easy to just talk about this stuff.
Yes.
So we definitely appreciate each and every lady that's opening up, asking
Yes.
questions and just going deeper. So a few of the things that we went over initially, I want to get back to those things
Yes.
as far as things not to say, do, or text to men. And just a couple of them. The first one that we went over was good morning, handsome.
Yes.
We don't want to have that in our vocabulary. We don't have that on our Twitter fingers or anything, making sure we're not coming at him with that energy. Also, another thing that we said is never tell him that he can't do something. And again, a lot of times you'll look at it as just banter or that's your way of encouraging him. Whatever you're saying is what we're hearing. We're not making up what this means or anything like that. I don't care how he responds. Another one as well is never assume that he knows what you're thinking. So a lot of times in conversation, you're giving context clues, you're saying things, and with the expectation of, okay, I hope he does that. I hope he does that. Again, like we stated earlier, men will catch things and men will, I make sure that I'm listening because, at a certain point, you understand that this is part of a woman's language, but you don't want to do it with an expectation if you haven't been clear with him because we have so much going on with work, with business, with providing, with protecting that sometimes we miss it. So those were 3 of the points that I wanted to jump into before, just to kind of remind everybody, those that jumped on late as well.
And a couple of other things. So somebody in the comments mentioned also, this was so good, never tell a man that he's not needed. Ever, ever, ever. Don't even think that about a man because that is relationship suicide, 100%. And one other thing I wanted to add too, to never text or say to a man that you're dating. I'm not talking about if you're in a marriage and you're in a serious relationship with them, but you're just starting to date guys. Don't ever text them and be like, oh, I'm thinking about you. No, don't say I'm thinking about you. And the reason why is because, once again, that's your chasing energy coming towards him. Now, if you guys are seriously dating for marriage, maybe you're in a relationship, you're getting married, and something happens and it reminds you of him and you're like, oh my gosh, I just saw this and it made me think of you. You can totally do that. But when you're first starting to get to know guys, you don't want to be text them saying that you're thinking about them. Okay. It's going to be such a turn off for guys. One other thing that we have an entire texting dating program in the Feminine Energy Academy where we really go through like the framework around around texting and dating and in marriage. But one thing that we will tell you guys that will help you a lot is typically, and this is the Coach B's rule, is men should be texting you 80% of the time.
Texting you first.
Yeah, texting you first. Texting you first 80% of the time.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and that's because you want that man to show that he's coming after you. When you're
Mhm.
texting him 80% of the time, first, you're waking him up, you're putting him to bed with a
Mhm.
text message, calling him. Now he starts to step back because any relationship, I don't care what
Mhm.
relationship it is, it's going to be a masculine, it's going to be a feminine.
Yeah.
And he's falling into a feminine role because
Mhm.
you're the one coming at him. You can't come at each other and have polarity. It's like
Mhm.
you're coming at him all the time. He's
Mm.
relaxed. He's waiting. Why didn't you call me? He's asking you, why didn't you text me? Why didn't you
Mm.
call me? Where you been? I've been waiting to hear from you. So now
Mm.
he's falling into a
Yes.
role where he's receiving.
Yeah.
So allow him to come towards you, and men are okay with it. Most healthy masculine energy men are okay with reaching out to you
Mhm.
80% of the time. Now, when you even when you're married, even when you're engaged, still the case, he should be reaching out to you the majority of the time, and he should be leading the relationship in that way.
And the reason why this is so important, ladies, is because if you are in your chasing energy, and he might say he likes this, right? That's fine. But you are going to continue that chasing
Yes.
energy in the relationship, in the marriage, and you're going to be so turned off. Trust me, we coach married
Yes.
women that the roles are reversed in the sense they look like Barbie dolls. Are gorgeous women, amazing, good-hearted women, but they have always been in the masculine role, and their husbands have leaned all the way back, and they're so in their feminine receiving that they're not attracted to them anymore, and
Yep.
like the men are just not stepping up. So it is so important that even in the dating stage, when you're vetting men who you want to date and take seriously, it's not about physical attraction, it's not about chemistry or emotion and how you feel about them. It's about these things, like his energy is coming towards you, he's initiating
Yes.
conversation, he's pursuing you, he's showing up consistently. These are the types of guys you want to date and marry, because that's going to allow you to lean back in your feminine and not have to be chasing
Yes.
him. Yeah.
And Nadia asked the question and said, what should we say if they text us they're thinking of us
Ooh,
first?
that's a good question.
That's a good question. The thing is, you don't want to, you can say whatever you want. You can say thank you. You can say, oh, that's so nice. But you don't want that to be the norm. Like they're just texting, okay, I'm just thinking about you. You don't want to have that type of relationship. If he does it out of the blue, he does it here and there, great. But that shouldn't be your way of communicating. And don't respond with you just going all out. Well, I was thinking of you. I'm so glad you reached out to me. I was
Yeah.
thinking about you. Just
Yeah.
thank them. Thank you. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you. And well, she's always giving an answer that's kind of going a little deeper as far as your energy,
Mhm.
because it comes out of your energy. It's okay for him to text you that. Don't let that be the way your relationship goes. Let that be just a one off or something like that. He should be calling you. He should be coming to see you, not just texting you, I'm thinking about you, because that statement alone, he can text 10 women and say that. But
Mhm.
what's the nature of your relationship? Is he saying that? Is he following up with anything?
Yeah.
Or is he just saying that and just waiting to hear what you have to say back?
This is so good. Okay, so this is really, really important. First of all, is his energy coming towards you mostly? And if his energy is coming towards you mostly, and then he texts you, I'm thinking about you, the most important thing for the woman to do is receive with appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
This is, even if you're not into this guy,
Yeah.
that's fine. What we teach our girls is to date guys, even if you're not into them, you're still practicing. You're teaching your nervous system how to receive.
Yeah.
So if a guy texts you and he's like, I'm thinking of you, or he sends you something, just thank you. Simple thank you. You can give a cute little emoji, and that's it. Now, exactly what Coach B is saying, you don't want your entire relationship
Yes.
built on texting. This
Mm.
is why for us ladies, we got to keep our text messages short and sweet. Because if you're just going back and forth with him and you're just having these long drawn out conversations on text message, he has no reason
Yes.
to plan dates with you.
Mm-hmm.
He has no reason to go to that next step with you. Okay? So it's so important. Once again, you can receive with appreciation,
Mm.
but you're not going back and forth and having long
Yes.
conversations with him. Now, if you're dating for marriage, his energy is coming towards you.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are FaceTiming, he's planning
Yes.
dates, all that stuff. His energy is coming towards you, texting you 80% of the time. And then it's different. Okay. Then you can have a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
conversation on text message for whatever reason if you can't talk to each other. But we're talking about really at the beginning stages. You really want to make sure that one, your energy stays
Mhm.
warm and soft. Not, oh, why are you texting me? No,
Right.
like your energy is warm, soft. Thank you. One cute little emoji,
Right.
right? But you're not giving him too much. You're staying a
Mhm.
little bit mysterious. So he is forced to, plan dates with you and take you out and take you to that next level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good response. And Tony from Gaza, how are you?
Oh,
Thanks for joining
hello.
us, Tony. But yeah, definitely such a key point. And Nadia, I'm not sure if you're in the Feminine Energy Academy,
Yeah.
but definitely right now it's a free 7-day trial. So feel free to jump in. The link is below.
And one thing that our ladies do and they found really, really valuable in the Feminine Energy Academy is when they are dating guys, they will screenshot the messages and they will post them in our community. And our community is safe. It's just for women only, and they'll get our feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are finding like you're struggling with the text messages, the dating apps, you don't really know how to respond to certain questions, and you just want to feel like you're not alone in doing this, you want professionals to help you with this that have a really good track record,
Yes.
then you can jump in and you can post questions in the dating and marriage section and be like, okay, this is what he said. What
Yes.
should I do? What should I say? And then we can help coach you
Yes.
through that and train you on how to do that. So
Yes.
yeah.
And Kai's Life, Adora Support just added the link, so you can definitely
Yeah.
jump into the Feminine Energy Academy.
And also, if you are new on the dating apps and you want to date internationally like what we did, we have a whole training program in there on how to optimize your dating profile, the photos, exactly what to say, the exact, different apps that you can try out, you can practice with. We will help you. We will literally hold your hand and help you with that. You can post your photos and you'll get the masculine's perspective and the feminine's perspective on just feedback, like real-time feedback on the type of photos. This is what our girls have done. This is why our girls are getting engaged and getting married.
Yes.
So yeah.
No, that's so good. And we love even that part of it because that's where we came from.
Yeah.
And one of the ladies that we helped, actually, that was within the last couple of weeks, got
Yes.
engaged after kind of switching things up
Mhm.
and go and start rotationally dating. She was in
Yeah.
a relationship. As soon as she entered the Feminine Energy Academy, she was already in a relationship.
Yeah.
She started rotationally dating. He wasn't stepping up,
Mhm.
and she ended up getting engaged. So this stuff works, and we
Mhm.
see it happen. We see it working every day for the
All the
ladies in the
time.
community.
All the time. Like every month we have engagements. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yes.
And a lot of them are single moms. Not all of them, but a lot of them are single moms and international as well.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right.
So
Anything
good
else?
today. No, I mean we've covered so much. We
So
have
much.
so many more questions. If we didn't get to your questions, be
Mhm.
sure to jump into the Feminine Energy Academy, ask the questions. Also comment on these different things not to say,
Yes.
do, or text to guys. Any other thing we may have missed.
Yes. Yes.
Comment so we can get this information out so we can share and make sure these ladies are saying, doing, texting the right things.
All right. We'll see you, ladies.
See you later.